Welcome everyone to the penultimate round of the West Coast Sims Racing's GT Challenge Series. We're live tonight at the legendary Suzuka circuit for 45 minutes of high-octane GT3 action. Track always delivers. I'm talking S-curves, Spoon, as well as 130R going to test our drivers tonight. Precision, bravery, also a little bit of tire management towards that finish. My name's Sean Stam, live here on Stam Studio Network. You all already know it. Producing, directing, commentate the show as we take a look at some pretty tight points battles here within the point standings coming into our second to last race of the season. It's Trevor Vafrosky out there up front, Andrew Bound, Josh Hunter, Michael O'Dill, all separated by just, well, 20 points up there between 1 and 2, and then separating, look at, third and fourth, only 3 points there. 1 point separating second and third. Benjamin Foran, Brandon Birch, Mitch Crowther, Zach Severe, Brennan Myers, Jordan Panaziola. There you see on the right side of your screen, trophies from last season. Pretty much what these drivers are going to be fighting out here for tonight. Little updated trophies we're talking as well. As we cut live down to virtual trackside action, hopefully you're all doing well here tonight. We'll take a look at our starting grid brought to you by Race to Stop Suicide. Check on your friends and family members out there down and around you. It's Josh Hunter. He needed a pole tonight there. Remember, he's 21 points away from that points lead. Sitting in third, he's going to put it on the pole tonight with a 157.137. Trevor Vafrosky, Andrew Bound. How about Michael O'Dell? That's the first, second, third, and fourth. What is that? First, second, third, and fourth in our point standings as well. Oh, this is going to be a good race tonight. 45 minutes on the clock. Competition caution at or around 20 minutes into the race. It's Tyler Satterfield, our first driver out of Skidmark Sim Racing, who will put it up there P5. Zach Severe will put it up there P6 with a lap time 1.1 seconds slower than the pole position of Josh Hunter. It'll be Nico Colby there right behind Tyler Satterfield running at P7 on the start. It's Dane Perkins, Mitch Crowther, Brennan Myers, Aliexei Andrew, as well as Dylan Bass running up the top 12. Jesse Lavorin out of Camber and Castor. Brandon Birch, he's out here racing with us tonight. It's Andreas Perfanda, the Italian. It's Benjamin Foran, Jake Steckler, Boren Johnson, Amethyst Reese, Sergio Oestes, Joe Rainey, and Lewis Holloway. Let us know who you're rooting on down there in YouTube land tonight. I appreciate each and every single one of you joining us, as well as those sponsors, affiliates up in the top right of the screen. Also, be sure that you're getting your better half dash registered, or excuse me, your better half registered for that better half dash the night before Valentine's Day, February 13th, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. It'll be a blast. Also coming up is the Deuce and a Half for Skidmark Sim Racing. We have quite a few Skidmark Sim Racing drivers out here tonight. That's going to be a lot of fun. I believe that's in just about 2 days' time. Coming out, I think that's 12:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. It'll be me. I think Marvin Tater up in the booth. That'll be a fun Deuce and a Half. That's LMP3s, BMW M3s, I think, that are also will be racing with them there. High driver count. Speaking of high driver count, it's it's 22 driver field here tonight. What was an immaculate driver field last night out of Apex MX5 Sim Racings. Hey, we got some West Coast Sim Racing here tonight, and we got this penultimate round to dish out some points. Our front 4 drivers within the front 4 point standings, all separated by 20 points there between first and second, 1 point between second and third, and then 3 points between third and fourth. Tonight's a very, very important race for lots of these drivers. I want you to get up, stand up for your life down in YouTube land. Promise me that you'll never give up the fight as well. Josh Hunter, who's going to finds the green flag after he pins that throttle pedal here. The start will be on him, and we'll be racing out in Japan here for West Coast Sims Racing's penultimate round of the GT Challenge. There you see in a way that they'll fan out. Oh, here they go down into turn 1. It's Trevor Vafrosky to the race lead. 4 wide, settles back down to 3 wide, settles back down to 2. Michael O'Dell going to use that outside line as well as try to run away out there from the rest of the pack. Speaking of the rest of the pack, continuing to snake their way up and through turns 2, 3. It's these corners. Oh no, Aliexei goes around. Sticking up to that battle up in the front, Trevor Vafrosky continues to stretch his legs with now a 0.3 second gap. It's now Michael O'Dell, Zach Severe, who had a really nice restart to this race start to the race. Zach Severe gains 3 spots to the good. Andrew Bound, he's lost a position back to P4, and then there's Josh Hunter running in P5. Continuing to single file snake our way out of here. This tough, tricky Suzuka raceway out of here in Japan. That's only the first side-by-side that we battled that we see starting to heat up there in Ensue. That'll be between Dylan Bass and Benjamin Forehand. Looks like Dylan Bass is able to get 2 spots ever since the drop of the green flag. They're already marching his way up towards the front, and that's Skid Mark Sim Racing McLaren GT3 machine. Brennan Myers running right there in behind him in P12, and then a little bit of a gap is starting to form there for Brennan Myers. There's Jesse Lavorin, also out of Skid Mark Sim Racing. There's our league owner Warren Johnson out there running P14. Brandon Birch, Andreas Rafana, then there's Jake Steckler. How about Amethyst Reese also having a nice race start as well, gaining 1 spot, now running in 18th. Back up here to the race lead, there's only 0.3 of a second separating the front 2 as we make our way out and out of turn 17 to complete lap 1 of the race. It took 2 minutes to do it, but now that now that we're up to speed, moving and grooving, we should see lap times continue to close off in that pace category there. Look at the move being go to the inside line. That looks like it's going to be Dylan Bass. No, excuse me, that's Mitch Crowther, Dylan Bass teammates right here. Skid Mark Sim Racing all in 3 cars in 1 camera shot. Dane Perkins, I think, ran a little bit wide. That allowed Dane Perkins to take that spot right back. And how about Mitch Crowther? It's the Mittens machine up to P8. Nice start to the race for all of Skid Mark Sim Racing tonight. Also, speaking of some more, hey, it's Tyler Satterfield up there in the lime green SMR machine. He's also up to P6 here, trying to reel in Josh Hunter's rear bumper in his Aston Martin Heart of Racing at number 20. Also, you see those flashies going up there for Andrew Bound, the Taco Bell American Power GT3 Mustang machine. I don't know if he's just trying to catch our attention or maybe try to catch Zach Severe, maybe possibly make him make a mistake there going into corner entrance. Zach Severe, it's going to be a little bit easier said than done to make that Mercedes AMG to make a mistake out there, continuing to run in that final driver interview position, 3 spots to the good, although right now it's 1.6 second gap there between second and third, and Andrew Bound, hound dog in that rear bumper. Andrew Bound, nothing but a hound dog. He had a really eventful race last night, came back and got the race win after facing the wrong direction on the track. Andrew Bound makes that pass look easy. He's made his way back and up to P3. Remember, he came into the race P2 in the point standings, minus 20 points to the race leader, but that is, you can very easily make that up within 1 race. The points leader obviously being the race leader out there on track tonight. That battle is also heating up, broiling and ensuing. Trevor Vavroski versus Michael Odell. Michael Odell came into the race 4th within the point standings, but only minus, I think that's also minus only 1 point to the good there. Michael Odell, if we take a look at the last lap time history between these two, lap 1, a little bit slower for Odell as he's trying to get that thing refired right back up right there. We'll also have that competition caution about halfway through the race. It'll be Michael Odell who also closes the gap there about 1/10 of a second on lap number 2. But now the interval continues to stay just about half a tenth, if not 6/10 of a second between P1 and P2. Andrew Bound, we saw his pass up to P3 now. There's Zach Severe who will drop to P4. Josh Hunter still up here within the top 5 standings. We're all, right now putting his front nose all over that rear bumper of Zach Severe, trying to make the outside, maybe crossover. No, Zach's gonna play that defense. Saw that one coming. How about Josh Hunter though, continuing to close in there on that second to final drive. Excuse me, that would be the first driver position out of that final driver interview spot. But Josh Hunter, we've seen him have the pace. I mean, no matter what car we smack him in though, it could be a Toyota GRD6, a Mazda MX-5 Cup car, shoot GT3, GT4, you name it. Josh Hunter continues to show some very nice pace and racecraft alike there. He's made his way up and actually, unfortunately, fell his way back here to P5 after starting up there what was pole position. But that just shows you that he's going to have that pace, especially from Suzuka, to possibly work his way back up towards the front. especially after we re-rack them and restack them. There's a real nice battle here between, that's going to be Benjamin Forehand, and it's one of my Daytona 24-hour teammates, Brennan Myers, who is trying to make that pass work. He's going to have to regroup it and rearm it now. Brennan Myers and is kind of oh, I thought he was going to be meat to the sandwich. He's the bread of the sandwich right now, with Benjamin Forehand kind of shoved in between him and Dane Perkins. This is a nice battle right now that's about 1.8 seconds back between that battle between the top 9 drivers. Leading this second pack here, it's going to be Warren Johnson. He's got Andreas Perfana right there behind him. Jake Steckler on Amethyst Reese. Oh, Warren Johnson's going to run a little bit wide there. He's going to give up 1 position. Will it be 2? Jake Steckler's going to try to pounce around the outside. He gets that Aston Martin machine down and around and passes the Aston Martin of Warren Johnson. Fortunately for Warren, loses 2 in one corner there, but continues to be in the green positions. Still has 2 spots to the green. It's still side by side up here between Benjamin Forehand and Brennan Myers. Now they single file it right back out there. Brennan Myers trying to do all that he can to try to put that Rexy lime green Porsche machine out and around Benjamin Forehand. Brennan and Benjamin still sits 5th and 9th within the point standings respectively. Benjamin trying to fight for his right to party tonight, trying to play that defensive line over hard charging Brennan Myers. Dane Perkins also right there in front of him, still trying to hold them all off in that Skidmark Sim Racing Mercedes AMG machine. There's battles all out here over the racetrack, but I think we're going to stick here with this battle. Let's kind of see what these different race lines start to look like if we take that the really chopper camera shot there. These drivers twisting their way around here, Suzuka. There you see Dane Perkins, that baby blue machine kind of got a little bit loose out there on corner exit. We'll have to see if that allows Benjamin Forehand to close down on that gap there, as it's still just about, it's 0.3 of a second. We're going to have to jump there to the race lead, as it will be side by side between those two. Michael Odell, he is done playing around. He gets it done around Trevor Vavrosky. We'll take a quick race replay and see how Michael Odell was able to set that one right back up here. Man, Trevor really leaving the door open. Michael Odell's going to say thank you very much. I don't think Trevor was actually thinking that he would carry that much speed and momentum out of that final chicane out of 16 and 17. And Michael Odell, very nice pass, almost textbook-like there. Trevor Vavrosky going to have to try and maybe go to school here, study that pass there from Michael Odell, and see what he can do, what they say can't be done, and that's make the pass right back for the race lead out of here. A tough track like Suzuka. Gap now falls down to 0.4 of a second. There's Andrew Brown up to P3. There's Zach Severe, who fell back to P4, but hey, he's still having a really nice race tonight, keeping Josh Hunter right there behind him. Remember, and I mentioned that earlier on in the race, holding off a hard-charging Josh Hunter is not easy to do. Zach Severe keeping it done. He's running that same line that he's ran the last 2 to 3 laps now. Does Josh Hunter finally just have enough of it there and try to send it deep in the inside? Or is Josh Hunter, he's going to play the long-run strategy here, trying to conserve a little bit tire life as well. Remember, mentioned that earlier, pre-race strategy or pre-race talks there. The tire wear definitely a factor out here from Suzuka in these pretty heavy GT3 machines. Looking at that rear camera of Zach Severe right on top of that front nose of Josh Hunter. Now that gap has started to open itself up here just a little bit here between the two, 0.5 now, I can start to say a little bit something cool about Zach Severe here. If you're looking for some very cool photography or videography on Instagram, hey, Zach Severe, the man, the myth, the legend right there to follow. Especially after that recent snowstorm as well. He got some pretty nice, some pretty cool photos and videos rocking and rolling for him there. Zach, keep it up, man, as well as keep that head down. Right now it's a 2.2 second gap separating that final driver interview spot and yourself. Zach Severe's got Josh Hunter. Yeah, I'm starting to run out of analogies here tonight within these GT3 machines, continuing to run so close one another to one another. It's almost like they don't have to worry about dirty air here too much, and that's kind of the case. You really don't see the higher speed corners out here that you're going to rely a little bit more on that front end downforce as well as that rear end diffuser. I think more importantly, that rear end spoiler to make all the downforce happen there for you. that's why we continue to see, I think, these battles really close still with one another. Kind of think of it a little bit like Formula One DRS, if you're still not picking up what I'm putting down there. I don't know. It'll definitely help you. That slipstream of draft, it'll help you within the straightaways, but it will all but hurt you within those tight corners. Even though they are lower speed, we haven't seen that dirty air really play too much of a factor here tonight, but still, I think it is playing a factor within the long straightaways, within the facts that they are. The driver's right behind, the driver right up in front of him, still able to retain their kind of position and gaps that they have lost within those tighter sections of the track. Hopping on board here with Josh Hunter, not even the gyro cam, but let's hop on board the virtual driver eye cam here. Well, now as we make our way down the straightaway, just watch these micro adjustments, watch these hands go to work for Josh Hunter, especially in that turn 16-17 final chicane. A lot more cool, calm, and collected than get one of those Toyota GRD6s or Mazdas slideways out there from underneath them. Got that TC ABS and, like I was mentioning, aerodynamics to work with. Josh Hunter still about 0.3 of a second there behind that final driver interview spot. How about Michael O'Dell, though, still out up front by 0.4 of a second. That is continuing to close up. Back looking at one of these lap time history graphics, lap 4 and 5. It's a little bit slower there for Vavroski, but look at lap 6. It's back and forth. Say it with me, ladies and gentlemen. It's cat and mouse. Bow out here out at Suzuka. It's Trevor Vavroski who's slowly reeling in that battle for the race lead. And I think the bigger picture here is not Vavroski, respectfully, but I think it's going to be Dr. Andrew Bound. Look at lap 4. Look at lap 5. That's almost 2 seconds gained in 2 whole laps. That Taco Bell Ford Mustang machine he's on rails tonight for Andrew Bound. Zach Severe, Josh Hunter still going at it for P4 and 5 there, excuse me, misspoke earlier. That's going to be Josh Hunter finds that inside line after Zach Severe not able to play that defensive line that we've seen him play between the last 2 to 3 laps up there. Josh Hunter, he's up to P4. Will that gap start to close up between P3 and 4? Between Andrew Bound and Josh Hunter, or will Zach Severe here continue to play all around with that rear bumper and rear camera of Josh Hunter? It'll be Tyler Satterfield out of SMSR, Mitch Crowther, Dylan Bass, Dane Perkins, there he is, and Brandon Myers. That's our top 10 runners tonight. We're already 13.5 minutes down out of this 45-minute race. There's about 7 to 8 more minutes until that competition caution. So you know what time it is here, ladies and gentlemen. Enjoy this. Crank it up for our penultimate round, second to last race here, West Coast Sim Racing's GT Challenge Series. slowly crank this puppy back down. Battles all over the racetrack, still heating up, still ensuing. We're right now checking in on 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th. Here's Dane Perkins stolen off Brennan Myers. Brenton Birch works his way between the top 11 positions. There's a little fake move down to that inside turn number 1 there for Brennan Myers on Porsche Rexy machine. Not really able to make Dane Perkins up here look within his rear view camera. Keeps that thing moving and grooving within the number 9 position for Skid March Sim Racing. Keep it up here, Dane Perkins. It's been quite an eventful race here throughout the whole pack. We're going to get some race replays during that competition caution in about 4 to 5 minutes time. I'm not going to promise, but I'm going to go over as many as I can there over in that quick caution time. We'll jump back out to the race lead. It's Michael Odell who's continuing to hold them all off. This is huge right now because Michael Odell, remember, came into the race 4th within the point standings. If he finishes up here within, even 1st to 2nd, that has huge championship implications here going into the race next week. I believe it's at is it Sonoma? I know it's either Sonoma for GT Challenge or GR86. Whoa, Brenton Birch! Is it another Sean and Tater curse? He's going to save that Apex Motor Club Overstock Vehicles VehicleBuyers.com machine. Dang, that got loose on Brendan out there on corner exit. He was able to regroup, rearm. Although I say that though, Benjamin Forehand really coming in with a head of steam right here. Man, Brendan Birch, what a save. What's some cat-like reflexes out there for that number 10 machine. Jumping back out to that battle between the race lead. It's now 6/10 of a second that separate Michael Odell and Trevor Vafrosky. As here comes Andrew Bound. What happened to Vafrosky? Vafrosky's in the pit lane. Out of all West Coast Sim Racing League history, the only time that I have seen drivers ever come down pit lane is if they did not put enough fuel into their setup, or they have to make a quick, it would actually be a drive-through penalty if anything did incur there. So this has, speaking of huge playoff championship implications, Trevor Vafrosky in for a splash and dash on fuel. Did he not get enough fuel in that Mercedes AMG before the race? If that is the case, he is right now kicking himself down there within that cockpit of that machine. Michael Odell, Andrew Bound. This separates here this battle for the race lead here only between 2 drivers. Or, hey, I could be talking all this mess right now, and Trevor Vafrosky, he could be looking here at a little bit of. He has his fuel box. All these drivers have that fuel box available to them. Could have Trevor Vafrosky seen that's maybe no. I don't think that we run with any fuel restrictions here within the series. I really am kind of banking on that this is a mistake and that Trevor doesn't know. So Trevor doesn't know something that we don't hear live up within the broadcast booth. But him coming within to the race within those points lead, you definitely have to give him that benefit of the doubt because he definitely knows what he is doing, and that's Mercedes GT3 machine. All right, now within that 19-minute mark, we should see that competition caution here within the next few turns time, or will the league owner allow it to stay for one more lap? It's all going to depend on when Michael Odell and Andrew Bound cross over that start-finish line. Here they come throughout turn 16, 17 on that final chicane. It looks like the yellow flag is going to stay put here for the time being. That is not what you want to see if you're a Michael Odell fan, and that's what you are begging here for. You're licking your chops right now for Andrew Bound. That gap for the race lead, it's cut its way all the way back down to now just 2/10 of a second. Andrew Bound, he's looking into turn 1, not close enough to make anything happen here just yet, but he's definitely he's sized him up down there, coming out of exit 2, 3, and 4 as we now make our way through the S's section. Oh, a little bit of a slip up there from Michael Odell on the entrance of the corner. He's going to try to get that thing widened out there as late as possible to really play that defensive line, not really allow Andrew Bound to make a move down to the inside. But there you see he compromised all that race pace and racecraft that Michael Odell had. Andrew Bound closes the gap even more so here. We should see that competition caution within the next 1 to 2 laps, I would imagine there. It's now 3/10 of a second. Andrew Bound continuing to chip away at that battle for the race lead. We got Moonlight Dancer, we got DK down there, we got Ted as well as Mitch Crowther joining us in YouTube land. Hello all. DK says, let's go Sergio. Moonlight Dancer says, impressive driving from Michael and Trevor. I'm telling you, man, look at him go at it. Still nose to tail, 21 minutes down here at Suzuka. You couldn't, if you tried to put a script on this, you could have scripted up better here if you tried. Andrew Bound, he's going to try for that outside line here. Try and size Michael Odell up here once again as we continue to crest our way closer to competition caution. Sparks flying at the rear end of Michael Odell's machine as he really got hard on those 3D rendered rumble strips there as the caution flag flew. Michael Odell, he can breathe a sigh of relief right now. He holds off the hard-charging Dr. Andrew Bound. Andrew Bound will finish up that first half of the race. Then P2, it'll be Josh Hunter. P3, Zach Sevier. P4, Tyler Satterfield out of SMSR. P5, Mitch Crowther. P6, Dylan Bass. P7, Brendan Birch. P8, Brendan Myers. P9, how about Benjamin Forehand coming across the line in P10. We're going to re-rack them. We're going to restack them here, ladies and gentlemen. Don't you go anywhere unless you promise me you're just grabbing yourself a quick drink, a quick snack. You'll be right back here with us. It's Trevor Vafrosky, Dane Perkins, Andreas Profana, Jake Steckler, Nico Colby in the top 15, Joe Rainey, Amethyst Reese, Warren Johnson, Lewis Holloway, Alexei Andrew, Sergio Orestes, as well as Jesse Lavoren running at the top 22. All right, I promised I'd do it here, but before we get to it, remember, Better Half register your Better Half. I'm telling you right here, right now, still about 9 Better Halves registered there for it. It's going to be a lot of fun. Ladies, we see you down there in YouTube land, as well as we see the view count skyrocketing. We know that you continue to really root on your Better Half down there from behind the scenes, but what better way, gentlemen, what better Valentine's gift to give to your Better Half than a little entry there. Hey, it's free entry. It's broadcasted here on SSN. We're going to take a look here at a couple quick race replays here before the competition caution did fly. Here's going to be Nico Colby, a quick incident here after he was going at it there with that green Skid Mark Sim Racing number 81 machine of Tyler Satterfield. Whoa, Nico Colby's going to loop it around. There are quite a few off tracks as well, but we're going to stick with here the kind of bigger incidents out there if it was a spin or contact with an inside or outside wall. Here's Alexei. Oh, I think he just tried to miss the spinning camber and caster. I think that may have been, I'm not sure who that was up in there in front of him. Didn't quite catch the number, but there's just a quick kind of evasive action there for Alexei. And I said that we've missed here quite a few incidents. Honestly, ladies and gentlemen, how about these drivers? That's really the only two that I'm showing down there in YouTube land. Of course, we have seen still those off tracks. We have seen quite a few off tracks here tonight. But as far as actual incidents go, I mean, what a great start here to the race for I mean, the whole pack. We only had 1 to 2 spins and really big incidents here throughout the race so far. All right, so just like that, we can get back up here to live pacing action. Welcome in. If you're just now joining us, my name's Sean Stam, live here on Stam Studio Network. We'll take a quick look at some point standings before we get back to moving and grooving here tonight. It's going to be Trevor Vafrosky, who came into the race with the points lead. These are not updated as far as current placing standings within the second to last race of the season. It's Andrew Bound there, P2, -20, and Josh Hunter, -1, and then Michael Odell, -3 from Josh Hunter. It's still anybody's ball game within those top 4 standings. Hey, don't count out even P5 and P6 between their battles of their own. They're Benjamin Forehand and Brendan Birch just separated between 72. Excuse me, not 72, excuse me, 4 points. Mitch Crowther still up in there with them. Zach Sevier, Brendan Myers, and Jordan Panizio are running up the top 10. There you see trophies from last season. That's a little bit of what we're working on. There are going to be some newer trophies here this season but I promise they're going to look just as bad to the bone there. Congratulations, Stone Slater and Daniel Higgins placing top 3 in Season 2, last season GR Cup Series. There you saw Stone Colby coming in with 5 wins, 10 top 5s. Slater, 3 wins, 9 top 5s. And then Daniel Higgins, 8 top 5s. Unfortunately, Daniel not able to make it out here to this season with us, but I do broadcast some other series where Daniel is actually a part of there. It's just, it's so tough with him being out there in Florida, and then we're out here in West Coast. So that's probably what, isn't that a 3 to 4 hour time differential there. Let's check in on YouTube land here again. We're here just now that I have a quick moment's time. Sergio is DKM3's GOAT. That is well known. I'm going to put that down there in my notebook. Mitch Crowther saying, let's go. Last race of the season for some of those Skidmark sim racers. They're racing IRL next week. Ooh, Mitch, I appreciate you letting me know down there in YouTube land, as well as best of luck to you down there in some IRL racing for quite a few of those, or if not all of those Skidmark sim racing drivers. Also, for SMSR in just a couple days time, I'll be live here for the Skidmark Sim Racing Deuce and a Half. Once again, that'll be LMV3 BMW M2, I believe, machines out there cooking out from Okayama. 2 hours, 2.5 hour endurance race. Can't wait there for it. It'll be me and the Marvin Tater up down there in the broadcasting land. Jesse Lavorian right now showing the only driver to make a pit stop, and still, so that's going to really solidify and really tell us what had happened with Trevor Vafrosky. I hate it for him here, but I think that I can finally say with a little bit more confidence what did happen, and I think that's just what I mentioned earlier. He did not have enough fuel in that GT Dynamics Mercedes AMG machine. That's why you saw him take a quick splash and dash, although only falls back here to P11. That just makes it extremely harder on him to try to come away with either that championship win in next week. It's time. Tried to save that one. It'll be Michael Odell who's going to take away the race restart out here. You see lights are out on that iRacing safety pace car. Appreciate each and every single one of you down there in YouTube land tonight. I always say it, but that's because I always mean it from the bottom of my heart. To each and every single one of you, thank you for joining in on this race tonight. There's so many more things that you could have been doing. You could have been racing with us out here tonight as well, but joining in on the broadcast, I'm just showing my appreciation for your appreciation towards me. It's going to be Michael Odell, Andrew Bound, Josh Hunter, Zach Severe, and Tyler Satterfield rounding out the top 5. Also appreciating those sponsors and affiliates up in the top right of the screen. I'm talking Overstock and VehicleBuyers.com, as well as Race to Stop Suicide. Also, Stam Studio Network Racing broadcast, which you're watching on here. Zipstream Performance, they build to win in real life racing. It's West Coast Sim Racing's GT Challenge, as well as Camber and Caster. Also, DL Designs there if you're looking for any iRacing special paint scheme action. Make sure you hit up Daniel Selway Jr. out there in Discord land. Con Coaching, you can hit up Zane if you're looking to get any faster out here in Sim Racing land. There you see we got some disco ball lights going on there for a second. It is Brennan Myers, my Daytona 24-hour teammate. I think we're going to try to keep that endurance team moving and grooving. Brennan Myers, he's moved and grooved his way up to P9 out here on the track. iRacing safety pace car should be headed into the safety of pit lane right here and right now. It's Michael Odell, Andrew Bound, Josh Hunter, Zach Severe. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, that's the top 4 within the point standings. It's so close that whoever comes away with the race lead here tonight, the race win, they will find themselves within the point standings lead into championship round. Who has what they say can't be done here tonight? We got the flashy flashies. We got the green flag out here out in Japan for West Coast Sims Racing's penultimate round of their championship GT challenge. Michael Odell leads them all down there in turn 1. Andrew Bound, Zach Severe, Mitch Crowther, Tyler Satterfield there starting to run side by side. More single file and then a little bit more double file out there between, I think that was Andreas Profana and Dane Perkins going at it there. Whoa, hang on to it. I think that is Dylan Baste who goes around. It is Dylan Baste hard to the inside, or is it outside tire barrier? He's going to catch reverse and get it right back to moving and grooving, but with some pretty heavy damage there. Michael Odellson continues to run away with the race lead by about, oh no, I take that back. He's not running away with the race lead because here comes Andrew Bound. He's not even camouflaged in that Liv Moss Taco Bell machine, but that's just how fast he's able to make a pass happen. Dr. Andrew Bound to the race lead, and there's a big incident in the back of the pack. Amethyst Reese involved, Joe Rainey involved. Here comes Dylan Bass, Mach 2 through it. Dylan Bass says thank you at least for one spot back there. Back to the race lead we go. Andrew Bound's able to find it around the inside line. Oh, we got a spinning Tyler Satterfield to the back of the pack. We'll continue to work up here within the top 3 runners. Michael Odell, he's dropped to 5/10 of a second. Josh Hunter, he's dropped to 3/10. Here comes Andrew Bound once again, leading him down and through our hairpin corner towards our last sort of straightaway, and then towards 16-17 on that final chicane to complete the opening lap of our race restart. Zach Severe, Josh Hunter, they're still going at it between 3rd and 4th for that final driver interview position. Who's it gonna be? I can't tell you. It's also Trevor Vafrosky. Remember, we saw his mistake. He's crawling his way back up towards the front of the pack now. He is right now past Brendan Birch, right now starting to reel in Mitch Crowther and Josh Hunter. Oh no, no, no. Who was that in the Porsche machine? That's gonna be Brennan Myers who goes around. There's some more side-by-side right there behind him. Warren Johnson going at it with Lewis Holloway in the camber and caster. Mercedes AMG versus Aston Martin out there. As you see, that's going to be, I think that was Ali Xe Andrew heading down and into pit lane. Andrew Bound, he's got that 5/10 of it. That's a half of a second race lead out here, but that is not enough to try to run away from a hard charger like Michael Odell. Both of our 2 front runners are up 2 positions since the original drop of the green flag. Will Michael have what they say can't be done out here tonight in the Chevrolet Corvette, going up against some more American horsepower out there of Andrew Bound in that Ford Mustang. You see gravel all accumulating down and around off of the race line, so that's going to continue to push our front runners to continue to try and hit their race lines to a T. Unlike there you see, with all due respect, Josh Hunter, he got a little bit off the race line out there trying to reel in Zach Severe. He got within those marbles out there on the side of the track, those kind of rocks out there that you see. It looks like snow out there on the track. It behaves like snow. Josh Hunter, he's going to lose there just a little bit more of a run up there to that 3rd position. Andrew Bound, Michael Odell, Zach Severe, Josh Hunter, then Mitch Crowther. How about the Mittens machine up to P5? I've said it before, if you're looking for any paint schemes down in iRacing land there below, make sure you hit up Mittens down there on, I think it's 63 on Instagram, as well as hit up his trading page profile as well. Paint schemes that are hard to be beat after Mitch trying to put his head down and try to beat a hard charging Trevor Vafrosky. Still second to closest battle, excuse me, now on track here between 5th and 6th position. Brendan Birch, as well as still holding off Benjamin Fourant. All of these drivers in position that we see, most if not all of them, excuse me, continue to see if they are close out here on the track tonight, they are close out here within their points battles as well. We see that with Brendan and Benjamin. We also see that up there within the front 4 runners. How about Amethyst Reese running still in P18, but right now kind of meet at the standards between Dylan Bass and Joe Rainey. How about the Joe Rainey Holmes Racing number 17 machine? He's crawling his way back up towards the front after that slip and a slide earlier on in the race. It's a little bit harder to find yourself up towards the front of the pack here, though, here at Suzuka, especially in these heavier GT3 machines. Going back up towards the front of the pack, still Andrew Bound. We haven't missed anything out up here for once. Woo! Can wipe some beads off the forehead there as he continues to kind of run away. Remember, last time we checked on it, that was a 5/10 of a second, a half-second gap separating 1st and 2nd. Andrew Bound starting to run away with it here, as Zach Severe here also as well. He's starting to kind of get a little further away from P2, running in P3. Josh Hunter, he's still got enough time here tonight. There's still about 10 minutes left here within this race that Josh can still find that final driver interview spot happen. Mitch Crowther, same story should be said there about him down there, after he's going to have to play some hard defense over Trevor Vafrosky. Vafrosky still kicking himself for the strategy call there, but can he continue to at least stop the bleeding, so to say there? Can he at least work it with some of these points back here tonight to continue to make that championship run at least doable here next week from West Coast Sim Racing? We're gonna hop on board here and once again watch the hands. I know I went the gyro cam, but we're gonna hop on board the cockpit cam here. Only second gear. I was expecting first gear for these much, a little bit more heavier Mercedes-AMG machines out of that final chicane there, but obviously not. You're going to want to keep that speed, keep those gear ratios just a little bit higher, or a little bit lower there, excuse me, it would be. Mitch Crowther, Trevor Babrowski now separated by 1/10 of a second. Who makes a move going in here to turn one? It's going to be Trevor Babrowski, who's later on the brakes. He's going to kind of send Mitch Crowther there just a little bit wide. 073 Skidmark Sim Racing machine has no thing to do there except to give up that P5 spot there to Trevor Babrowski. Benjamin Forad, Nico Colby, Dane Perkins. How about Andreas Brabana? He's having himself a real nice night tonight, running within the top 10 position, also kind of leading that battle and quagmire cars here between 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, and 14th. Andreas, Jake, Sergio, Brennan, and Brendan. But Benjamin Forant, that's driver came into the race, I believe it was 9th in the point standings. He's got a hard-charging Nico Colby in that Chevrolet Corvette all over his rear bumper there. Man, I'll save that here for another driver interview for another time there. But anybody that did find themselves within down there at the real-life Rolex Daytona 24, hopefully that's you all had yourselves a blast up there. I'm still trying to make it out to the 500, but that's a little bit more risky. If you want to get a little SSN meet up there, definitely will be out at NASCAR at COTA, as well as NASCAR out at Texas Motor Speedway out there. So any of you within those respectful areas, you can definitely find me out there, as well as a couple buddies, but it'll still between Nico Colby and Benjamin Forant. Nico, you saw him really hard there on the brakes. He really had to compromise corner exit, the most important corner of the, portion of the corner. There you go. Start to talk a little bit too fast down here. Nico, he had to slam on the brakes there, not expecting to Benjamin Forant. That would be, oh, here we go. Nope, Nico Colby, he's going to fake it until he makes the pass happen. He faked it for us down here up and within the booth. I couldn't imagine what that's like out there trying to defend a hard-charging Nico Colby. Now with just about 7 to 8 minutes left to go in the race, all depending on when Andrew Bound and or Michael Odell and or Zach Severe, whoever the leader is at the time of when the white flag flies, well, that will determine when that white flag does fly out of Barney the Flag Man's hands. Andrew Bound, Michael Odell, that was a 5/10 of a second separating the front two runners. What fell back to about 8/10 of a second between the front two. It's now crawled its way back up to Michael Odell. Look at him, he's now back up to 6/10. I've seen this as we continue to hop on board with Michael Odell. That Chevrolet Corvette, it's a little bit more powerful within these tighter corners of the racetrack there, but then kind of the how do you say it, the looser corners, the ones that come out with just a little bit more of a straightaway after them there. Andrew Bound is able to run away and kind of regain the time that he lost there. Look, it's visual. Look at how close Michael Odell is get within corner entrance of those tighter technical corners out there. But then you see corner exit. Andrew Bound continues to crawl away from him there. I can't believe that's, I mean, that was a very, very nice visual of it. It's also a very nice visual of it here between two other manufacturers, the Mercedes-AMG and the Aston Martin GT3 machine of Zach Severe and Josh Hunter. These still duking at it here between these two drivers, going for that third driver interview position. Zach Severe has what they say can't be done for the time being, but Josh Hunter continues to try and just to make him out each and every single corner entrance a passing opportunity out there. Oh, then he make this one happen. Nope, he's gonna have to slot back into line as Josh Hunter. He'll continue to run P4, or will he? Is he gonna set up the switchback? What a crossover there for Josh Hunter. Contact between Zach Severe, Josh Hunter, side by side of turn 16 and 17 out of Suzuka. Final 5 minutes out of West Coast Sim Racing's GT Challenge penultimate round. Zach Severe, Josh Hunter still going at it. This is in turn 1. Zach continues to play that defensive line out there, washes it up there in corner exit in front of Josh Hunter. Josh, though, he's gonna have his sights aimed on that rear bumper of that that AMG machine of Zach Severe. And look who's starting to join this battle as well. It's Trevor Bavrowski. He qualified up there within the P3 to 4th position. He is needing points here tonight, coming within the race within the points lead. Will he have enough to at least get 1 to 2 positions back out here, come within these last 5 minutes of the race? Zach Severe continues to hold off Josh Hunter. How about Trevor Vafrosky, though, joining right up in there with him? Trevor has his popcorn bucket out here tonight. Such slow corners for these GT3 machines. It's like you're crawling through them, but it's really not. We're already backing up down to, that was about 45 miles an hour, already down and back up to 140 miles an hour here between these front third, fourth, and fifth running drivers. Josh Hunter, there you see him in that neon green machine, trying to get there just that much closer to Zach Severe's rear bumper. Whoa, he gets a little tight there through the corner. That's going to allow Trevor Vafrosky to make a move out of there. I believe this is turn 14, headed towards 15. Trevor Vafrosky, he's up to P4. He's down and around, clear. What a pass that was after Josh just made the slightest mistake there on back on throttle application. Trevor to P4. He's now going to have to start to hound Zach Severe's inside. No, excuse me, that would have been the outside. Switches back to the inside, and then Trevor just kind of gets back out there on that brake pedal. He's gonna play it cool out here, coming towards that start-finish straight. We should be seeing about, I would call it 3 laps to go within the race, all depending on when this front battle makes their way across the start-finish line. Andrew Bound, Michael Odell still separated by 0.2 of a second. Lap traffic up here in front of them. It's Ford versus Chevrolet. How many times have we seen this here within both real life and within sim racing history? Who's going to have it done from both of these American-powered GT3 machines out here all the way across the sea out here in Japan? Suzuka. Michael Odell continues to work within that 0.5 of a second gap, but remember what I mentioned earlier, he loses so much at their corner exit that he's really not able to hound that rear bumper, get close enough to try to make a move happen for Michael Odell. Right now, it's all on Andrew Bound. Does he have the physical and mental, I guess you call it, capacity left in that Ford Mustang GT3 machine after 42.5 minutes of racing? Right now, you got to put it all down and you just got to put it all down right here and continue to hold off the hard-charging Michael Odell, who's, matter of fact, led a couple laps here tonight as well. Trevor Vafrosky, Zach Severe, this will be the first, second, to third time that we've seen them running side by side here tonight. It'll be Zach Severe who holds off that P3 position. Here comes Josh Hunter. Does he try to set that switch back up happen? He's looking down the inside, not close enough to be so. Josh Hunter will continue to run P5. Still 0.3 of a second separating P4 and P5. But how about P3 and P4? It's only 1/10 of a second. Trevor Vafrosky is now looking down the inside. Excuse me, that's the outside. Zach Severe, even more defense played on that Mercedes-AMG machine. Trevor Vafrosky got so deep into the corner that here comes Mitch Crowther. No contact, excuse me, that's not Mitch Crowther. That is Josh Hunter backing around down to the outside in that neon green machine. It'll be side by side out of turn 17. I think Trevor's going to have the run out of the corner exit though. Trevor back up to P4 as the white flag waves here on Suzuka's West Coast Sim Racing's penultimate round here, GT3 Racing. It's been too fun to watch out here from up in the booth. Continues to be Andrew Bound out there out and up front after he got the pass for the race lead done and solidified just about 4 to 5 laps to go. Don't quote me on it. It's Zach Severe up to B3, still holding off Trevor Vafrosky, Josh Hunter, 3rd, 4th, 5th, all separated by a little less than 0.5 of a second each. Who's it going to be on that final driver interview position tonight between these front 3 drivers? Zach Severe, he's opening the gap out there, running away from Trevor Vafrosky. Josh Hunter deep within the braking zone. No contact between the 2 drivers. Still about 2 to 3 car lengths separating all 3 drivers out here throughout the tightest technical portion of the track. Oh, Josh Hunter, what a move that was for the Mercedes-AMG for Trevor Vafrosky. Contact with the rear bumper panel there. Trevor only loses 1 spot back to P5. He'll go back up here to the front of the race lead. It's Andrew Bound leading Michael Odell. 2nd to final race for GT Challenge out of West Coast Sim Racing. Does Michael Odell have what they say can be done within these last few years of the racetrack? 1.2 seconds back. I don't think it's going to be done. Only 3 more turns to go for Andrew Bound. Back up here, separating that final driver interview spot. Zach Severe, he's got it solidified right now between 1.1 seconds between Trevor Vafrosky and Josh Hunter. Trevor Vafrosky down around the outside. He's able to keep that grip within that Aston Martin GT3 machine. Andrew Bound, it's another race win on the season. How about him? He's going championship hunting next week for West Coast Sim Racing's GT Challenge Championship run. Congratulations, Andrew Bound, Michael Odell, Zach Severe, he gets the top 3 driver interview position. Congratulations, Zach. Trevor Vafrosky, he'll finish out P4. Mitch Crowther, P5. Benjamin Forand, here comes Andreas Profana. Brennan Myers across the line. A little flashy for the Italian. It's Andreas Profana, P8. Brennan Myers, P9. Sergio Alvarez, his first race with us in West Coast Sim Racing, I do believe, or second or third. Sergio brings him the top 10. 10 spots gained. Brendan Birch, Nico Colby, Dylan Bass, Tyler Satterfield, Jesse Lavore, and Amethyst Reese. We got one up in the catch fence. That's Benjamin Forehand. Get him down from there. Oh my goodness gracious. It'll be oh, it's Jesse Lavore and Amethyst Reese, Lewis Holloway, Joe Rainey, Dane Perkins, Ali Xe, Andrew Hewitt, Jake Steckler, and Warren Johnson, rounding out our 22. Count them with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm not going to count them all. 22 driver grid. Congratulations once again to Dr. Andrew Bound. It's another race win. West Coast Sim Racing season. Stick with us here on Stam Studio Network. I'm going to bring us some unofficial, official race results as well as some top 3 driver interview positions. Thanks, everybody. We'll be right back with you.
Traction there, coming out of the chicane there on the white flag, but I was looking forward.
It was either I throw a nose into one and it push us, or I'm like, yeah, no, it's not gonna work. And then,
yeah, I mean, with that Mustang, if you even touch me on that rear in turn 1, I'm dead.
yeah. I got close and I'm like, I'm right there. I could try, but like, I don't. The vet was not happy at the rear end, especially at that entry.
Yeah.
And then also I couldn't warm the tires because I didn't have enough gas.
Hey, Dr. Andrew Bound, we got some little bit of behind the scenes action right there. Got yourself a copy, man.
How we doing, Sean?
Hey, Andrew, I'm doing great. I don't know if as great as you, though. You're going to go back-to-back here tonight as far as Stam Studio Network racing broadcasts go. Congratulations on it, man. And man, you held off the hard-charging, front 4 runners within the point standings. How did you hold them off here tonight, Andrew?
I don't think I had the pace that the other 3 guys had, at least according to practice and qualifying. Got a little lucky. Trevor didn't do his fuel right, so he had to pull into the pits before the caution. So I think he came out of like the caution like 11th. So unfortunate for him, fortunate for me. And then me and Michael were going back and forth. And on the white flag lap, he got a little loose coming out of the chicane. And then I had about a 2.5 gap, just got to cruise it into the finish, that final lap.
Man, congratulations on it, Andrew. And well said about Trevor. I saw that earlier happen in the race. I kind of knew it right away. Like, no, he didn't put enough fuel into it. But Trevor actually worked his way back up to P4, so it should still be a pretty good battle out there in championship race in just a week's time. Is there anything that you do different within preparation here, Andrew, going into a championship race, or are you still just in it to win it?
In it to win it.
Hey, there you go. That's what we like to hear. Andrew, real quick before we let you get going, man, who you shouting out here tonight? Who you dedicating another race win to?
Just all the drivers coming in and out, week in, week out. It's always a lot of fun. Always a lot of good, clean racing. Sean for hosting this. I always look forward to watching it after the fact. Warren for hosting a good week.
Hey, thank you so much, man, Andrew. That's what keeps me moving, grooving back behind the scenes. Appreciate it, man. Well, let's get getting to popping that virtual champagne and have a great rest of your night, man.
Thanks, bud. Have a good night.
Man, Michael Odell stalking, creeping that rear bumper of the race leader, just outside of range to make it happen. But hey, Michael coming in with the race 3,500 road course IR rating, very, very close to Andrew Bound's rating as well. Mike, you got yourself a copy.
Yeah, I got you.
Golly, man, bridesmaid position here tonight, but respectfully, you continue to show us the speed, the pace here without the season, coming here into the race within the top 4 on the point standings. I think this will rocket you up here to second. I'm going to ask you the same question I asked you Andrew Bound there, knowing that you'll be up here within championship contention as you have been all season. do you kind of prepare for next week's championship race a little different, Michael?
Not really. It's just gonna be take it as you get it, because clearly that seems to be the my best play so far, because well, now we went from out of contention to right back in it, so I'm gonna just keep sticking with what works.
Well, you did that here tonight as well. I think, shoot, throughout the whole season. What was going through your minds here tonight as you were ripping through the pack? I mean, that number 56 looked to be on rails on that Chevrolet Corvette.
I'm gonna be honest, I was riding the high from passing Trevor out after 130R to that braking zone the entire race. And then, of course, once the caution came, he's like, oh, he pit with, like, he said he pit and he didn't have, like, he needed, like, 10 liters. I'm like, oh, I need 3 gallons still. And then by the time the caution was over, I'm like, I didn't have enough fuel to even warm the tires, so I was kind of expecting to drop, but it's just damage control at that point, and it seemed to bring a good point total.
All right, there you go, Michael. Well, I think you'll definitely you'll be happy with that going into championship race week next week's time, as well as congratulations on the P2. Also, congratulations on driver photo of the season, at least in my eyes. We appreciate it, Michael.
Is this stuff the garbage man, dude?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. We appreciate it, Michael. Anybody you got to shouting out to here tonight in this another podium finish for you, man?
We'll shout out the garbage man.
Woohoo! There it goes. We appreciate it, Michael, and have a great rest of your night. Hopefully, we're chatting with you next week's time.
You as well. Take care.
This one will be special. Here's Zach. Zach Severe, you got yourself a copy.
Hello.
Zach, this might be. It's either first, second, maybe third time I've chatted with you up here live in driver interview position, but you take home a podium position here tonight in the top 3 Mercedes AMG. Man, how'd you get it done to that number 74 yellow and baby blue machine tonight?
Yeah, this is my second. Not since round 1 have I been in the top 3, and just the whole season. I just felt so unlucky, but it was really just inconsistency throughout the season from me. So it was nice to finally put a race together. It was pretty stressful. I was just battling as hard as I could. You know, I'm racing with people I'm not usually racing with, especially in the second half. So I just focused on getting tire temperature for the restart, and I had a few opportunities, and I just made sure I would not get overtaken.
Golly, well said, Zach. I mean, that third, fourth, and fifth battle all throughout the race. It was arsey-barsey, going at it. But lots of clean and respectful racing out here at West Coast Sim Racing. Zach, who are you shouting out here tonight? Who are you going to dedicate this podium finish to, man?
I'll dedicate it to Warren. How about that? Yeah.
Well choice out there. One of the best to do it down there in West Coast Sim Racing. He's our league owner. Speaking of him, well, first of all, Zach, we appreciate your time out here for driver interviews. And speaking of him, there we go. That's a great transition. It's the one. It's the only Warren Johnson. Warren, you got yourself a copy.
Yeah, I'm here, brother. How we doing?
Man, doing all right here tonight. How was your race tonight in that number 24 AMR machine?
Difficult. It's a fun track. It's fun, but it's a very, very hard track. And then, especially in these cars, like it takes a lot more skill to drive a GT3 car than the 86s and stuff. There's a lot more stuff going on. You're obviously a lot faster, but I mean, it is what it was. I kind of got spun off. I don't think I got spun, but I definitely spun a couple times after the restart. So I was just like, yeah, I'm done. I'm not in the points anymore. Not catching up, so I just watched these guys battle because it was a pretty good one up at the front, I guess. And but no, it was good time.
Well, Warren, it's all coming down here to these final 2 races, both for GR86 and then GT Challenge here next week. Real quick, can you, at least off the top of your head, do you know where we're going for Monday and Thursday night for championship battles? I think one.
Yeah, oh yeah. Yep, Sonoma for Mondays for the GRs, and if you guys have made it this far, Production Car Challenge is actually at Sonoma this week, so that'd be some good practice for my GR Cup guys. Get yourself familiar with racing there. And then Thursday is Bathurst at with GT4s, which is just gonna be fucking crazy. But I should probably turn the rain on. That'd be even better.
Yeah, there you go. Turn on the rain and turn on the Australian heat like they have now. I think it's like enough to melt their like phone mounts off of their windshields. But anyways, though, Warren, you run the green and yellow machine Aston Martin here tonight, kind of Green Bay Packers colors, keeping those moving and grooving. Also, you're keeping your hard work moving and grooving out here. Warren, I so appreciate it. Back behind the scenes, is there anybody who you're shouting out here tonight in that AMR machine?
Yeah, just the guys coming every race. the people who watch the races. I'd like to shout out my grandma tonight. She's in the hospital tonight, so I was just hoping she's doing all right, and but she is, and quick recovery for her, and my family. I think a couple of them are watching, so shout out them. She'll probably be home tonight. But then you, of course, for streaming. The Apex guys always coming out and racing with us. Everybody in my league comes out and races every week. The next season will start on the first Monday and Thursday of March, so we'll have a month off, kind of change some things. I can give you an announcement right now, actually, Sean. Yeah, we are officially going to be running the Porsche Cup cars on Thursday.
Crap.
So that's going to be the Thursday night racing, and then we're staying GR86s on Monday. That'll never change. But like I said before, Thursday I like to switch it up every season. I think it's kind of cool to do something different. But we'll see about next season or the season after that. Probably GTPs, maybe some prototypes or some LMPs or something. Yeah, that'd be cool too. So, but yeah, Porsche Cup, put it in the books, make the announcements, get ready, start practicing those Porsche Cup cars. They're going to be a ton of fun, and should be some really, really close racing. But other than that, thank you for broadcasting as always, and for the viewers for watching, and I'll catch you guys at Sonoma on Monday.
I appreciate it, Warren. That's one of my favorite cars to broadcast out there in YouTube land. And real quick before we let you get going, are you thinking of open setups or fixed setups for those Porsche Cups?
Probably open, but we'll see about we'll see on that. I don't want to officially say that, but what I'm thinking is we do open, but we're gonna provide like a setup for every track that people can use. It's like a good setup. But we'll see. We're gonna see how that works out and make it happen. So, anyways, I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good one.
I appreciate it, Warren. All right, as Warren said, I think I'm going to have to do the same here. I'm going to have to talk to each and every single one of you later. This is Sean Sam, out here live on Stam Studio Network. Here's the unofficial race, that is unofficial race results. Thank you all so much again from the bottom of my heart. If you made it this far, hey, it would mean even more to me if you probably already did if you made it this far. If you liked and subscribed, definitely probably already part of it. It's Andrew Bound here. I'll just go over the standings and then I'll get out of here because I got to get studying up here for classes as they have started back up. And oh god, taking a full load. It's a lot down here behind the scenes. But before we get to unofficial race results, Ted, holy crap, we got. There's no way he's down here still joining us. Mobile Ninja, it's Tom. It's Dively. Where do we find your story? There is a if you're still joining us, or Thomas, I'll message you down there in YouTube land or Discord. There is my story. There is what do you call it? A web page dedicated to kind of me and background, as well as far as like Discord and then YouTube and Instagram goes. I'll hook you up with that as well, Thomas. I appreciate your very, very generous $2 donation there. That doesn't go without being noticed, Thomas. I'll have the cameras on you next broadcast there. Appreciate Moonlight Dancer, DKM3, Ted, as well as joining and saying it's a much entertaining broadcast as always. Thank you so much. As always, ladies and gentlemen, sim racing fans of all ages, from the bottom of my heart, that's each and every single one of you. I can't thank you more than enough. Congratulations, our top 3 podium positions, podium sitters, Andrew Bound, Michael Odell, and Zach Severe. Thomas Dively, I will send you a Discord message right here, right now, as soon as I finish up this broadcast. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate you guys down there in YouTube land. So I'll catch you. I think it's going to be Saturday for some International Pro-Am Series GT3 racing at Le Mans, and then it'll be Saturday nights for the Stam Studio Network trucks taking on the Just Fishing at 70 at Bristol Motor Speedway. Some little night track racing action. Thank you all. I'll see you next time. Appreciate it, and stay safe.